Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. It's Vampire Week on Pure MTGO, and this is another matchup with our Vampires deck. So, we won the roll here, and let's get underway. Looks like we mulled 6 there. Sorry I didn't quite catch that decision, but this hand seems decent. We've got a Vial, Bloodghast, Vampire Nighthawk, and a Gatekeeper, so a nice curve even without the Vial. Opponent is on Pod, leads off with a Bird of Paradise, Inquisition, seeing a Hierarch, a Archangel Thune, a Linvala, and a Spike Feeder. So he's got the Angel combo in hand. I decided to take the Spike Feeder. I can't take the Linvala or the Archangel Thune. Could have taken Hierarch, but I really don't want him to have the Spike Feeder and the Archangel, as that combo just kills me, and don't actually have any way to deal with it currently. Abrupt Decay is our Vial, which is a little annoying. Just going to run out Gatekeeper, killing off his Hierarch, which slows his mana down a little bit. Just going to be able to get a Linvala out. I'm going to play Nighthawk and just pass the turn. Abrupt Decay is a Nighthawk, and attacks for 3. His thought seeing Archangel, and can't remember what the other card in his hand was. I think maybe just a land. So yeah, take the Archangel there, which is nice for us. Run out Bloodghast, and continues to attack in the air. We've played my other Bloodghast. Attack for 4, put the opponent down to 10. And decides to leave Linvala back now, which is really nice. It means we can attack and still punish our opponent. So just attack with everything. Goes down to 3, and our opponent concedes. So yeah, the Highborn pretty much won it there. I think our opponent was a bit presumptuous in trying to race us, and it didn't work out well for him. The Highborn comes down and puts him in a position where he just can't really win. Well, obviously there are cards that allow him to win here, but obviously too difficult. He was on top deck mode, and the Highborn plus the Bloodghast is just a little bit too much for our opponent. So managed to win game 1 there. Let's go on to game 2. So our opener got Swamp, Vial, Viscera Seer, Inquisition, bringing Dark Blast from the sideboard for Bops and Hierarchs. Bloodghast and a Captivating Vampire, so a little light on lands, but I want to run with it, particularly because we've got Vial. Just gets a Godless Shrine, and then bloods up our Vial, which is quite annoying given our 1-land hand. Inquisition, seeing Abrupt Decay, Restoration Angel, and Voice of Resurgence. I decided to take the Voice, as seems like the most annoying card that's going to hit down early, though Restoration Angel is also a potential problem. Draw Victim of Night, which denies, so we're going to attack with the Bloodghast, see if he wants to play out his Restoration Angel, and if so we're going to hit him with Victim of Night, which we do. Maybe down to 17. I get a Red Cap, which is going to kill off our Bloodghast, and with our land light hand is quite annoying. Provides another Voice, and attacks for 2. Charge counter onto my Vial. Final land, which is going to bring back my Bloodghast. And I can run out a Captivating Vampire. Maybe I should have kept the Captivating Vampire in hand though, because it ends up eating a Abrupt Decay. I could have got to 5 vampires and then maybe stolen something by dropping the Captivating Vampire into play. And yeah, I feel like if that had been a surprise, that could have helped me win the game. So yeah, interesting one. I don't know, he might have just ended up abrupt decaying another one of our vampires. Might have made life difficult, but yeah, I feel like I could have got more mileage out of my vampire there. Just going to hit him for 3. I'm just going to use Dismember. I'm going to Vial in my Highborn so I can get the trigger here. and obviously going to scrying a land to the bottom there, which is definitely good for us. Getting another Bloodghast. Sometimes pod, which is pretty bad for us. Just going to pod into a Sphinx here. Looks like with both our Bloodghasts, we can get a nice 4 life drain out of that. And obviously we've got the lands to get our guys. Also Dark Blast the Murderous Redcap to get rid of it. Abrupt Decays the Highborn, which gives us 1 more activation, down to 3. It goes down to 1 from the Birthing Pod, but has a Restoration Angel, which allows him to blink the Sphinx and go back up to 5. Now to have no good attacks, which is somewhat annoying. And you get some Eternal Witness, which gets back his Voice of Resurgence, I believe. And then Kitchen Sphinx is into a Linvala, which turns off our Captivating Vampire, and it's been turned off, unfortunately. Gatekeeper's going to be able to take out an Eternal Witness, but not do a whole lot else for us. And yeah, the pod activations are just going to be too much for us. He gets a Spike Feeder, can't really do anything. Next turn he's going to be able to find the Archangel and go infinite. So he removes a +1/+1 counter from Spike Feeder, gains life. An Archangel puts +1/+1 counter on all its creatures, so he has infinite damage, basically. So yep, not much we could do there. Basically pod ran us over, which is unfortunate, otherwise we were doing fairly well there, and I think possibly could have won out, though his bigger creatures were becoming a problem. So let's go on to game 3. So our opener, we've got Inquisition, Calastria Highborn, Bloodghast, Nocturnus and the Gatekeeper, which isn't too bad. Inquisition, I see a Dismember, a Tarmogoyf and the Birthing Pod. I'm just going to take the Hierarch, which is the other card, sorry. Yeah, we end up taking the Hierarch because that's his early ramp. We can deal with the Goyf with our Gatekeeper, provided we find another swamp, and obviously the longer it takes him to get Birthing Pod into play, the better. Going to run out Bloodghast. Opponent's going to play out Tarmogoyf, 3rd land, so we're just going to be able to Gatekeeper that straight off the bat, which is nice. And also allows us to get into for 2 with our Bloodghast. It's going to run out of Kitchen Sphinx, which is slightly annoying. I could have run out either Bloodline Keeper or a Vampire Nocturnus. I ended up running out the Calastria Highborn and just attacking with Bloodghast. Obviously we get the drain if he ended up blocking there, which would work out reasonably well. But I think maybe we should have dropped either the Nocturnus or the Bloodline Keeper. See, the problem with Nocturnus is we don't know if it's going to hit, but if it did, we would have been able to fly in for 8 there, and I think that would have been pretty sweet. I think the problem with this is that a year can get his Birthing Pod going, and might have been better to force him to try and use the mana on a Dismember maybe. So he finds the Murderous Redcap, which kills off the Highborn. We do get to get the drain. Drop a Nocturnus. Unfortunately our card on top is a swamp. Had we played last turn we would have actually got the pumps off the Thoughtseize. So that's a lot. Just going to attack in here. Obviously that means his Persist triggers, so at the very least he's actually losing a creature to the Birthing Pod if he uses it. But it does mean he can block with Murderous Redcap and drop most of our board. Opponent finds a Knight of Reliquary, dismembers our Nocturnus, then finds an Archangel Thune, and did manage to get our opponent down to 5, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to win through here. Archangel's just going to take over the game basically, and it's going to be a fairly quick clock, and there's not much a Bloodline Keeper and the Thoughtseize are going to be able to do about that. So yeah, Birthing Pod is a very powerful engine, and I think stood very little chance once it was. You don't really have any way to deal with it once it is in play. But I think we put up a pretty decent fight here, and yeah, I'm quite proud of how the deck ran here overall.